Okay, hello everyone, this is Rudy. I know I should lose this egg timer, but I'm telling you, I've done this YouTube thing a little bit, and I'm learning as I go, and I do not want to go over 10 minutes because it requires me to sit down and watch the whole thing, and I have to trim it, and it's a big pain in the butt to trim this video, so I'm going to keep it under 10 minutes, and right now I got an egg timer. I might get something later on where you don't have to look at the egg timer, but I got one piece of feedback, and I really appreciate these guys when you guys give me feedback to be more funny. So if there's not anything more funny than my haircut, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't always used to have hair like this, by the way, so this is just a recent thing, so it's even funny when I look at it. But I love my hat, and again, if you're only watching this video, I salute End Time Watchmen. I got no problems with End Time Watchmen. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I said that on my first video, so I salute him. I think he's a God-fearing patriot. But let's go back to the question, would not an intelligent designer require more intelligent designer, require more intelligent designer? And the answer to that is, yeah, that seems like I cannot answer that. So for those of you out there, and I'm not saying I know anybody who did this, I'm kind of playing around. I got you, right? That's kind of what they say to me. I got you, you can't answer that question? You cannot answer that question. I got you. You see what I mean? I would turn it back around on you, and let's say we have a causal universe, and I think I talked about that before. What is the primal cause of the universe? And for the atheist and objectivist, you might say it just is, or you might say existence exists. I would offer that's just a witty statement. It's not contemplating the issue more thoroughly. It's not contemplating the issue about how we came about. It's not contemplating the issue about what makes us different from inanimate objects. Excuse me, I had a garlic on my sandwich today. So anyway, on this whole, what is the origin of the intelligent designer? What is the primal cause of the universe? I don't think we can answer that. The reason I hold so firmly to a belief in God, and I hoped I said it in the previous video, but I pray to have the courage to never renounce my belief in God, is I do think that there's a possibility that the New World Order is coming about, and we're looking at a one world government. Let me state it clearly for those of you who do not know this. A one world government means the end of our constitutional values, the First and Second Amendment, the right of free speech, and the right to protect ourselves with firearms. And it means that we will eventually become slaves. We're talking about putting an RFID chip in you. We're talking about the elite of society controlling the planet. We're talking about them doing things to move us towards a society that has no dissenters, right? And what scares me so much about the atheist and evolutionary movement is they do not tolerate any belief in God. They not only attack the hypocrisy in religion. Let me share a disgusting statement by Richard Dawkins. He has this on his website. And I learned this, and it basically says, science flies men to the moon and religion flies men into the buildings. It's a cute little statement. It gets the college crowd roaring and like, oh, that's so true, that's so true. Religion has inspired many people throughout this planet. Religion keeps people from committing sin. Religion gives people something to look up to. I will admit there's a lot of hypocrisy in organized religion. If you looked at my previous videos, you'll know that I'm not trying to defend organized religion, but religion offers a tremendous amount of inspiration. Look at the Renaissance and some of the artwork that was put together that was inspired by religion. And I could also go into the horrors of a godless society, but the reason I hold dear to a commitment in God or a belief in God is the horrors of a godless society scares the hell out of me. It scares the hell out of me. If you get rid of God in society, then where do you derive your rights for liberty? Where do you derive your rights for happiness? The Declaration of Independence in this country says we derive those rights from our Creator. When we move to a godless society, which is the ultimate goal of a one world order, are you going to derive your rights for liberty and mankind from society? Are you going to derive it from the political system that's been set up? Because political systems get corrupt. I don't care what kind of political system we're talking about. Eventually they get corrupt, and they're not going to give you those rights. A divine creator, whether you like it or not, is not going to deny you of those rights. Now, even if you're an atheist, even if you're an atheist out there and you don't believe in God, I would ask you to consider, do you want to propagate your atheist views all over the world? And are you ready to accept the ramifications of the whole world not believing in God and the fact that every individual man has to derive their rights from a state system that will be set up to control everybody? I'm telling you that even as an atheist, it's in your best interest to align with the God-fearing folks who will fight for your right to be an atheist. We at least respect your right to be an individual. We expect your right to dissent. If you allow your atheist belief to propagate throughout the planet, man, they are going to not allow any dissension. They're not going to allow any dissension. I'm telling you, any time I bring up this concept of a belief in God, it seems that our society will think of all of us as nuts. They declare us as mentally ill. That's not the case. We're not mentally ill. I'm telling you that people that believe in God are going to fight for the atheist just to be an atheist because he's a man and he can make up his own decision. You might have to put up with our, singing a little song to God every now and then. It might perturb you, but at least you can be perturbed. At least you can be pissed off at all the religious people around you and think how stupid we are. But if your atheist belief is allowed to propagate all over the planet, you're not going to have any right to dissent. They will attack you with vitriol if you try to dissent in a system controlled by man that is eventually going to get corrupt. All political systems get corrupt by man. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. Let me end this video, and I want to talk about all the different political systems: communism, socialism, capitalism. I had a lot of thinking about that today, and I want to share some thoughts with you guys out in YouTube land, and you share your feedback. But I'm going to end this one. Let's talk about the systems.